So after subscribing to Disney Plus and jumping into The Mandalorian, and now for the first time ever being able to deep dive the Clone Wars and having the entire library there for me, playing Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, and watching the media marketing push for the 9th episode of the Star Wars saga coming out later this month, I have been inundated with Star Wars content, and not that I'm complaining, I love me some Star Wars. By the way, Mandalorian is incredible. For those asking my opinion on Jedi Fallen Order, it's also really good if you're into that style. I would suggest watching some gameplay, and try not to spoil yourselves with the story, but watch that gameplay and see if it's something you really enjoy. I'm not going to make a video about it because it's Star Wars, and I know this channel is all about like shooters, early access games, and I actually covered a game back in 2016, and that was a little game called Star Citizen. And back then, the game was an absolute disaster, in my opinion. That was December 2016. They had just released the Arena Commander module, and it was a mess. The Arena Commander was broken, the FPS module broken, terrible to play, and then when I jumped into the Persistent Universe, it was just a god-awful experience. I decided to jump back in, because I've been feeling the Star Wars love, and I've been wanting to play something that allows me to explore this open world, this vast universe. And I could go play a game like SWTOR, but I would much rather play a game that is in the same realm as a Star Citizen. So I decided to jump back in. The title of this video is Star Citizen worth playing in 2019? And I'm going to try and answer that, because it's kind of a tough question, and it all depends on your gaming preferences. So I bought a package back in 2016 for $35. It came with an Aurora MR spaceship, which you guys are seeing me fly here on screen. This is your basic run-of-the-mill ship, and when I bought the game in 2016, I said, you know what, if this turns into something, then cool. I jumped in at a whopping $35. And if this doesn't turn into something, well, at least I can pay to watch the ship go down. And that was my mentality going into it back then. And I'm happy to say that jumping back in this week and streaming it and bringing the Star Citizen community to my Twitch channel, and I've been learning a lot and playing, and they've been giving me a lot of advice. When the game works, it is one of the most incredible experiences I think I have had in gaming in a long time. Now, that's very few and far between, and we're going to get into the problems right away. But I just want to say, I was playing this. This was an experience I had while I was offline. I was hooked on the game, and I was playing, and I was doing just a quick delivery mission where I had to land. I can't remember what planet it was. I have no idea. Again, I am new to this game. Essentially, even though I've been around for 3 years, my account was actually created in 2013, if you can believe that. So I've been here, I just haven't been here. But I was flying to this planet, and I was doing a delivery mission, so I had to go pick up this crate, this package, and when I landed, it was a little outpost in just the middle of the desert. And walking to this outpost and looking back at my ship with the desert sand kind of blowing in the background, it felt like I was playing The Mandalorian. It felt like it felt like it was ripped right out of Star Wars. A scene somewhere in the expanded universe that nobody will ever see in the Skywalker saga. That was happening to me, and I was kind of taken aback. I was like, God damn, like, this is incredible. I'm playing essentially a delivery boy in the middle of this incredible, expansive universe. And right now, it's only the one universe, I believe, which is the Stanton universe, and there's a whole bunch of planets within this system. And just running around and doing missions. I'm trying to get into bounties. We're going to get into why I can't seem to get that going in a little bit here. But that experience to me, the delivery, the flying to the planets, the landing, and just seeing just how big this game and this universe is, pretty awesome. And I actually didn't realize as of like this weekend, CitizenCon was going on, which is the annual Star Citizen convention where all of the content creators, the developers, and just the fans of the game go and meet up. I didn't realize that it was actually happening. Just the timing ended up being perfect. But in the game, to coincide with this event, they have the ability to go and walk through a whole bunch of hangars where they're displaying, it's essentially a car show for all of the spaceships, and you can go and rent a lot of the spaceships and fly them around in a free fly event, which I guess is going on right now. I'm not sure when it ends, don't quote me on that, but I was able to jump into a couple of different ships, and I have to say the first time I was able to jump into a ship called the Hammerhead, and when you take the elevator down to the cockpit and you see the co-pilot seats and all of the glass surrounding it, it took me back to my childhood of just the idea of spaceships and flying and Star Wars and even Star Trek to an extent, and I almost started tearing up on stream. I was sitting here and I was just in awe of how this ship was built and how it was put together, and that feeling that it gave me of jumping in and just seeing, like, this is incredible. This is what I imagined video gaming to be. If this game was polished 100% and I could jump into the ship and everything was good, my God, man, that would the feeling I got when I walked into that cockpit was something that I haven't felt in a long time. And then I went to go see how much that ship cost, and I realized that it was a whopping $725 US, which we're also going to get into in a little bit because I know that's a point of contention. This is going to be a long video because I have a lot of thoughts on the game, so I hope you guys ride with me. If you guys enjoy the video so far, leave a like on it. I'm enjoying speaking about this game. So I decided to go see if I could rent the Hammerhead, and I did, and you guys are seeing some gameplay here of me flying it around ArtCorp, diving in between buildings. This is my first day playing, and I'm like Han Solo in this bitch. I'm flying all over the place, and it feels really good. I gotta say, just that feeling of flying and landing on planets and planning your travel routes so you don't run out of fuel and refueling and repairing, doing all this stuff, it's absolutely incredible. And even more so when you're able to do it with multiple people. And this is where the first, like, really big point of contention comes with this game. The friend in the group system in this game is so archaic that it took us about 20 minutes to try and figure out how to get two people into the same server to be able to join the parties, and realize that we had to back out to the main menu, add each other on the friends list. It's not like an accept system. It's more like I follow you on Twitter. I just type your name into my contacts list, and then I'm your friend, but you're not my friend, so we have to add each other. It's super archaic, and then we realize we have to back out to the main menu, party up from there, and then jump in, and hopefully it takes us into the same universe. And I'm thinking, there's so much tech behind this game, including face over IP tech, which a lot of games don't implement. I actually haven't seen it implemented in another game outside of Star Citizen. And if you guys don't know what FOIP is, real quick, it basically takes your webcam and, like, configures to your face and then puts your face and all of your movements in the game. So if I'm talking, my character's opening his mouth, and if my eyes open up wide, my character's eyes open up wide. It's face over IP tech, so people can see your actual reactions to things that are happening inside this really expansive game. But then when you realize that the friend in the group system is so archaic and old, it just kind of feels like the priorities are skewed a little bit, in my opinion. And even though that's one of my main, like, feature gripes, we're going to get into other ones in the next little bit. The biggest thing that people are going to see right off the bat is the lack of performance when you land on planets like ArtCorp or Hurston, where you get into, like, Lorville, the big populated cities with shops and other things to do. The performance is god-awful, but what I will say is it is light years ahead of what it was like in 2016. Now, granted, I've changed PC parts since then. I have a 2080 Ti, 32 gigabytes of RAM, a 6-core 6800K processor. That's a beefy rig. And even in ArtCorp, I'm getting 30 FPS, 35 FPS, sometimes dipping to 25, sometimes dipping to Polaroid 10 FPS. But then once you get into the starship, you go into the hangar, you spawn your ship, and you fly out into the space, and you land on other planets or you know, satellite comm arrays, or you go and refuel at a refuel station. All of those areas are really good. It's just once you get into the densely NPC populated store, you know, metropolises of ArtCorp and Hurston, that's when things kind of go awry. And if you can handle the 10 minutes of bad performance to get to the starship to actually go explore the universe, and then you end up getting 60, 100, 120 FPS out into the space, then for the most part you'll pretty much be fine. And I've been told by a few people in the Star Citizen community that there's something called socks. is what the developers are calling it. It's basically the optimization passes are coming within the next 2 updates, and we're going to see how well they optimize this game. I'm hoping they do, because again, I want to see this experience fully fleshed out, because I know that it's going to be amazing when it is, if it is, at the end of the day. So this optimization pass is coming. Apparently there's a patch coming this month, 3.8. A lot of people are really excited for it. I'm actually really excited for it as well at this point. But I want to see more optimization. If you can handle that and get out to space, you're going to be fine. And then one of the most frustrating bugs in this game is, and I wouldn't even say it's a bug, I would just say the feature is broken as a whole, and that's the map. Once you get into space and trying to mark routes, trying to find points on a planet to go and spool to and fly to. I was doing an off-stream run. I was just doing a couple of delivery missions. I went and got a couple of packages from, I think it was CRUL4, and I was going back to ArtCorp. 2 of them had to go back, and it was like 2 in the morning. I'm feeling good. I'm like, all right, I'm going to do this mission, head back to ArtCorp, hand these 2 crates in. I was bound to, I think both of them were worth 6,000. All right, cool. That's going to be a dope-ass delivery mission. So I flew to ArtCorp. I hyperdrived, and then I had to go to Area 18 to get to the city. And I finally, after about 5 minutes of just refreshing the map, trying to bring it up, I finally was able to choose points on the planet. For some reason, that's just absolutely broken for me at all times. You basically have to get lucky with it. And then once I did, I clicked Area 18, I found the spool, and okay, it's a pretty far ways away. Let's hyperdrive there. And before, when this would happen, you would fly around the planet and then fly pretty much above the point, and then you would just have to head kind of like straight down or a little ways away, and you're close enough. This time, however, it just decided to show me what the ground looked like going at hyperspeed and flew me through the planet to the equator. I assume I was dead on impact. And that's just what the game wanted to do. So after about an hour and a half of flying around, doing packages, doing missions, I broke everything, including my face, on the ground of ArtCorp. And when I see stuff like that, I say, God damn, man, I'm trying to fuck with the map. I'm trying to get this fixed. And then you just want to fly me into the planet. And it's just like, I get it's an alpha, but good God damn it. Can some of this stuff just function at this point? And granted, it hasn't happened again, but it's one of those things where you just get really frustrated after, you know, a few hours of playing the game, dealing with this map glitch, dealing with all of this shit. And then I go on stream the next day and I decide to get out of my pilot seat while I'm flying. We're not hyperdriving or anything. We're just slowly floating. And for some reason, my legs just collapse in on themselves and I die instantly for no reason. And then I spawn back at ArtCorp, and then we get the lag, and then we're trying to deal with the friends list, and I realized that I was streaming for the first 2 hours of the stream. I was in a ship for about 10 minutes. And that's when I realized, I was like, you know what? This game is incredible when it works, and when it doesn't, it's one of the most frustrating experiences I've played in gaming in a long time. And I've been trying to rack my brain to try and see what the balancing act is. Does the good outweigh the bad in this game? And to me, I think it does. If you can get into a ship and go do some delivery missions, go do some bounties, and do all that, I really want to see what the FPS module is like. So like landing on planets, I haven't been able to really like shoot at anything. I have a rifle, I have a pistol. I want to go do missions like that, and I think we're going to be doing that this week on the live stream. But I want to start getting into that kind of stuff as well, so I can experience what this game has to offer in its entirety. I think the game is really good when it works, and I mirror the Escape from Tarkov community when I say that. Every time I talk to somebody who plays Star Citizen, they say that there is no other experience like this game. And I am willing to look through all of the bad stuff to get to that 20-minute, that half an hour, that 1 hour, that 2 hours of gameplay that I can get in a session that's just incredible and mirrors things like The Mandalorian and mirrors things like Star Wars and Star Trek with the exploration. And that's where I feel this game exceeds, is just when it fucking works, you're golden. So for me, what happened was I bought a package for $35 3 years ago, and that package has turned into something that I am able to go back and now utilize in a much better state. So if you guys are asking, is Star Citizen worth playing in 2019? I would say that if you were really into sci-fi and exploration and space exploration games like this, and you have a beefy rig, and you want to jump in for a low price. Now, we're going to talk about the ships in a little bit because I just want to make sure that everybody understands how all of that works. But if you can look past all of the glitches, jump in and test the game and help development in that sense. If you were that Escape from Tarkov for sci-fi, if you can handle that mentality going into it, then yeah, I think the game is absolutely worth it. Now, let's talk about the ships on this website, because from what I'm seeing a lot of, not fake news, but just a lot of like misinformed people when they come into the stream. So basically for me, what happened was that back in 2016, there was what they call starter packs, and they actually have a couple here, and they actually have the one that I purchased back in 2016. However, it was on sale for $35, and right now that package is $45. And what you do is you buy a game package, which is basically access to the game, a starter ship, which you can choose. As of right now, you can choose between an Aurora MR and a Mustang. I believe the other one is a Mustang Alpha. Those are the two game packages that are going to get you into the game, and you can view all the game packages. There's actually quite a few, but the cheapest ones are the Aurora MR and the Mustang Alpha. And what these packages get you is Star Citizen digital download. You get 3 months insurance, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. You get a self-landed hangar, and you get some starting money. So it's basically you are buying into the game at $45. And I think if you guys wait till around Christmas, which is when I bought it, I believe I bought it December 20th, 2016. So if you guys maybe wait around Christmas, there might be a Christmas sale if you guys were thinking about jumping into it. But just know that you're jumping into a game that is buggy, broken, and incredible. Is the best way to say it. $45 gets you into the game right now. You get a ship. It comes with 3 months insurance. As far as I'm aware, and from what people have told me, the insurance isn't really there yet. I've crashed my ship multiple times. I've died in the ship, and you just go back to a terminal, go back to a hangar, and you just claim it back. So it's like nothing happened. And then I think it takes 5 minutes for it to claim, and you can pay credits, in-game money to like bring it quicker. As far as I can tell, that 3-month insurance is still going. There's no insurance implemented into the game at this point. And from what I know, when it does, you can use in-game credits to insure your ship. So if you get a ship without insurance, or you have like 3-month insurance, and once it's all implemented and the systems work and your insurance runs out, you just use in-game credits to do it. But you could potentially, in the future, not right now, I don't know when they're ever going to do it or how they're going to do it, but in the future, there is a chance that you could lose your ship. And that's why when I look at these packages and I see people buying ships for $275, or in the case of the Hammerhead, $750. What you got to realize is those are multi-crew ships. So you can have 8 people running some of these ships. You can have 4 people running some of these ships. So when you look at it, you could buy in a single ship for $45. That's what gets you into the game. And if you had 4 or 5 of your friends and you guys wanted to pool together and you enjoy the game and you guys wanted to buy a bigger ship, that to me is the only way I could justify buying a huge ship like that. Now, I was streaming the other day, and a big shout out to a user named Hurricane Turtle over on Twitch. He actually tipped to get a new ship for me. We ended up going with the Cutlass Black, which is $115 US, which is crazy to me when you think about it. But what you can do is when you buy your starter ship, however much it costs, you can then use that to upgrade to an even newer ship if you wanted to do it. Do I recommend it? No, I don't think if you're jumping into it and I'm saying play this game, don't buy an expensive ship. Just jump in. The base game is $45. Don't even feel obligated to buy anything else. You know, a lot of people are going to say, yeah, but you know, it's just a money sink. There's a lot of whales, and you're right. There are people that spend a fuck ton of money in this game, but you don't have to be one of those people. You can get by just fine flying an Aurora. For me, I wanted just a little bit of a bigger ship because I do have a community of people who want to play with me, and if we're going to be running missions together, I would much rather be on one ship instead of, you know, having everybody fly and try to track flight paths with multiple ships. I just think it'd be easier. So the Cutlass Black that I got actually holds 3 people, 1 in the turret and 2 co-pilot seats, which I think is perfect for a little small crew running missions over the galaxy, which when I think about it, it's a really cool concept. That being said, I wouldn't recommend spending that kind of money on a fucking ship, right? That's just how, if you don't feel comfortable, you don't need to do it, and I think you'd get by just fine. But like, I know there's going to be a point of contention with some people in my community. I understand. I get what you guys are saying about the fact that some of these ships are like they're gouging the fuck out of people. There's no doubt about it. I agree with you in a lot of these cases, and I can't see myself ever spending that kind of money on a ship unless we had a community of people who pooled together and did it, and that would be it. They just passed the $250 million mark, I believe, in terms of funds raised, which is insane to me. $250 million. And when I signed up in 2013, that's 6 years of development. I believe the development started in 2000. At least I think the Kickstarter started in 2012. So we're looking at 7 years of development for a game like this. And what I will say is the game is playable. At the end of the day, I spoke a lot about a lot of things in this video. At the end of the day, is this game worth it in 2019? If you have a spare $45 and you can look past all of the glitches, all of the bugs, to try and get to that experience that I had in flying around, if you were into sci-fi, if you're into Star Wars, and you want to play the game, and you can look past the issues, it's incredible. And I don't say that a lot of the time. I don't say that games are incredible. You guys know me. I'm very hard on games, and this is something that I am still going to be very critical of when I see things like the archaic friends list and dying randomly and the performance issues. Now, I have moved this game onto an SSD, and I've actually ordered an M2 2TB SSD to go into the motherboard, and I'm going to be moving all of my games onto there, which I'm super excited about. That way there's not an SSD here and an SSD here and an HDD here. I'm going to move it all together, and I'm going to see how that performance works even well. So I'm actually going to be able to experience performance on hard drive, SSD, and then an M2 SSD, which I'm super excited about. I'm not going to sit here and blow smoke up your ass, but what I will say is that I've been playing this game for the last few days. I've been enjoying it. Even though all of the frustrations have been mounting, I've still been enjoying it, and I've still been able to kind of see through the bullshit and found a lot of entertainment out of it. And I'm actually just craving playing it right now. I'm recording this audio, and I'm just excited to jump back into the game and get some video recorded. I just want to play the game and experience it. So that's where I'm at. Is Star Citizen worth it in 2019? Nah, maybe. Depends on who you are. And what I will say is 3 years ago, I would have told you no regardless, because the game was in such a poor state at the time, I couldn't even justify the $35. So to go from that, to go from an absolute fuck this game and fuck this company to, depends. That's a pretty big leap for me. So take that as you will, guys. If you enjoy the video, make sure you like it, share it on social media, and leave a comment down below. Again, I know this one's going to drive a lot of conversation. I'm very curious to hear what you guys have to say. I've been enjoying it, man. Through all the shit, I've been having a really good time. If you guys want to come through and watch me stream the game live, I'm going to be playing it for the foreseeable future at this point. You guys can go over to the Twitch channel, twitch.tv/BigfryTV. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, man. I know this is a long-ass video. I was expecting it to be about 15. We're at 23 right now. I got to shut the hell up. Like the video, subscribe if you enjoy the content. Appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.